horror movies, mutilation, decapitation, torture. Does that sound entertaining? More blood than a blood bank. Have we got your attention?
Alright, welcome back to Welcome back to Video Waste Reviews Movies. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Dune. Now, I know this is a big deal for a lot of people, so let me preface this with, I never saw Dune. I don't know anything about Dune. I never read the book. Jerry recommended it, but he also wanted me to come in with fresh eyes, so he told me not to go back and watch the original, just watch this one, and then I can go backwards.
Yes.
So that's exactly what I did. Have you read the book?
I have not read the book. I've watched the original 84 version, and I watched this movie.
Okay. So there'll probably be two different perspectives on this, and like I said, I don't know the story. I didn't read the book, so be gentle. So let's hop into it. It's a science fiction movie. It's from 2021, and you can catch it on HBO Max for freezies until the 21st. Yeah. So,
what did you think? Show stealers. What was your show stealer?
Okay, so I had the book report in front of me, and I kept looking, and I was watching the movie, and I was like, all right, let me just put this down until the end, and then I'll fill it out. And at the end of the movie, I went to go fill it out, and I was like, show stealer. The movie is the show stealer. Every aspect of the movie is the show stealer. The camera, the CGI, it's all the show stealer. Like, nobody was better than anybody really in the movie, as far as I'm concerned, at least. So I can't give Dune was the show stealer. Like, the entire fucking movie was the show stealer.
Yeah. Coming from watching the original and now watching the remake of this, my big wow, I like that was that this actually feels like a movie. The other one, because they're limited on stuff, they're the original they were limited on camera and technology and that CGI. Because they were limited, that makes this one look more grander, looks bigger, looks like it takes place instead of on a sound studio. This feels more like it takes place on Arrakis. So
yeah, I see. I don't have that previous thing, but it is not lost. Having only seen this one, it's not lost on me the magnitude of this movie. It's very evident in this, and this is what Star Wars should try out sometime. I think putting effort into a fucking movie.
What's your breakers?
Okay, so I only have one breaker, and again, this is just coming from fresh eyes on this movie alone. I only have one breaker, and it's not even that big of a breaker. It's two parts, same thing. Jason Momoa is my fucking showbreaker in this movie because he's just Jason Momoa in Dune. He doesn't change the way he acts in real life.
They made him shave his beard.
Yeah, at one point, and he looked like a little fat kid. But he doesn't have the depth or the range to do something with a lot of emotion. Don't get me wrong, he did a good job. Yeah. But there were certain parts where you're just like, is this an Instagram video? Because he's just acting like himself. Yeah. And the other part of that is he kept touching that little fucking kid. And it was annoying the shit out of me. I don't like when people put their hands on me. Once is okay. Hey, buddy, good to see you. But he touched that kid 30 times in the movie. Yeah. And not in a creepy way or anything, but just the sight of him constantly putting his hand on his shoulder or patting him on the stomach or whatever the case was. I was just stop. Yeah. Just stop it. That wasn't written in there. You know that's just your fucking cool guy, duh, no, man. But all right, anyways, yeah. So that was it. And again, he didn't do a bad job. I enjoyed his performance, but I just couldn't help but see the pride of gypsies in the movie, not him being a character in the movie.
Yeah, yeah. I had no problem with it, but I think my big breaker in it was, like, laser guns. Laser guns. All I know is in the movie they're all fighting with swords, like these blades and stuff, and I was like, this is like 10,000 years into the future.
Yeah.
No one got a laser gun and stuff. I feel
Well, they did have. Well, their machine. Remember when they were running in the thing and that laser was like cutting through the walls and shit, chasing them? Yeah. Oh, that's my show stealer. Those fucking little dragonfly helicopters. Those things were so goddamn cool. I was like, that shit is awesome. Like every time I saw one, I was just like,
But but back to space lasers.
Yeah.
They got swords and stuff, and there are like mounted cannon like lasers, but they're all just fighting with like swords, and I was just like, this feels kind of weird. They might do this in the book, because in the original movie, I believe they have like pew 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 guns and stuff.
Okay, I don't know.
But now thinking about it, that can't be because don't they shoot and it goes through the shield and like it goes slow and like no.
There is a point where the young guy, after they've already left, or they're on Arrakis or whatever, and they've left the compound, and they're with that group of sand people. And he does the Fremen, whatever, dude. They're sand people. But like he goes to draw that gun on the one guy, and he goes, "You don't get to use that. You haven't earned that. You'll get one when you earn it." So there are some sort of like weaponry as far as like guns, but I mean, swords stand the test of time.
Then I also like another like small. Show breaker was the fuck. I forgot where I was going.
Cut that shit out. Okay.
And that leads into notable effects.
Notable effects. Every fucking
everything.
The entire movie is a notable effect. Yeah. So, and it's all fantastic. There was nothing that I looked at and I was like, that's not believable, or that's bad CGI. Like. Nothing. Yeah. Every detail of this movie, somebody worked or the crew, whatever, the team worked extremely hard on. Yeah. And they used the big bucks to get it done. So,
but someone really has love for this and really put forth the effort on this movie. Now we're going to Cinema Wow. How was the cinematography?
I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
There were a lot of interesting shots, but everyone did exactly what they were supposed to. There was nothing where I was like, "Oh, that would look cooler from this angle," or whatever the case. Like the whole entire movie is pretty flawless.
Yeah. The one thing that I noticed going from the original movie to this remake and stuff is the remake makes everything really feel big. Like the ship that the Jesuit sisters come in, that feels big. Yeah. Where in the other movie, they just kind of wander into scene. There are like those couple of just where you see Dune, the Arrakis, and it's hard to shoot like an object that has like no changing features. Like it's good to shoot like woods or mountains, maybe not snowy mountains because it's all just white snowy mountains and stuff. But shooting the desert must be a pain in the ass where it's like, how do we know that the audience doesn't know that we just took one shot of this and just kept redoing it over and over? but yet they change. It changes all the time, you know, and I really like that where it feels big and it feels different. Like I know when I'm on Gideon Prime, that would be the Harkonnen or Harkonnen home planet. I know when I'm on I forgot where Paul is from, what planet that was. Darn.
I don't know any names of
and then I know
people.
when I'm on Dune or Arrakis, you know, I know changing places and stuff. So yeah, I thought the cinematography was great though.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've got the list, so...
the next one is quotable lines. That one moment. What's the one moment in the movie that was like really cool?
I mean, there's a bunch of them, but really, honestly, I'm just going to go back to that fucking dragonfly thing. I was so excited when I saw that.
Yeah.
And then, like, especially when they're in the sandstorm and, like, he has his little acid trip and he's, like... listening to the person like, oh, just let the wind take you wherever, and he like cuts those wings and they just like fold in and he starts like dropping through like all that shit, man. Like that was awesome.
Yeah. My favorite scenes are ones that I could pick out from the original movie. These scenes just have more fat to it, you know, and like in cooking, more fat means more flavor, and I felt like all the scenes really have. Yeah, you try to fucking okay. Bacon doesn't taste good.
Tastes salty.
Okay.
You like salt? Salt is spice, not fat.
But yeah, all of those scenes that really bring like the movie together. You know, I like, you know, the Harkonnen, like Batista, like all of his scenes and stuff. He looks really like dangerous. He
also looks just like the dude from the Marvel movies, but whatever.
Yeah,
they painted him the same goddamn color.
Yeah.
He left one set and went to the other.
And then like the whole like the Fremen fight at the end. That fight scene looked really cool. I also like the shield look. When they're fighting and they have the shields up and stuff, I thought that looked really good compared to
all the visuals of the outfits looked really cool.
Yeah.
They looked futuristic, but they also kind of looked like somebody that rides a crotch rocket would have. Like they're basically just leather suits and helmets. But they like, you know, put the armor on them and stuff. Yeah. It looked cool. It looked appealing. All the costumes were really good.
Yeah.
And you can tell they spent time on them and like got them right and stuff. But
yeah, that'll definitely like I said, no one particular scene, but all scenes in general are really good. Score and soundtrack.
I don't remember.
I know
that there was a lot of sound in this movie,
yes.
Or in parts of it there was big sound, but the thing that like caught me was again the helicopters, the sound of the way they sounded. And the little bug that comes flying into his room, the poison bug or whatever, that sounded like it had tiny little wings on it flapping. So like they were very meticulous about making sure things sounded good and sounded accurate. And I think they did a good job with that. And I enjoyed that. So the sound as far as that goes is good. I don't remember the score. I know... obviously it was good, but I do like the music in it. Really had that sense of like, oh, this is kind of like music that would be played there. The overall sound of the movie, I really like the voice when they're using the voice. It feels out of body, kind of like overpower. Like if you were in the theater watching this,
and someone would use that, it would feel like, oh, that noise didn't come from inside this room, you know?
Right. You know what it reminded me of is it looked like a Scanner Darkly. It sounded like a Scanner Darkly looks.
Yeah.
Like when he's in the suit and his face is constantly changing, that's what that voice seemed like to me. Like it should have went with that.
Yeah.
Because it is just a bunch of different people saying that line and they're using it, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that. All the little sounds and stuff are great. The little, the assassin bug that comes in, it had that like high pitch, like, wee, like a mosquito.
Yeah.
And I like that idea and stuff. But sound good.
Good.
What are we're on meat and potatoes. What do you say?
This movie is a lot of potatoes, but I didn't mind.
No, I'll agree with that.
I know that it, like, you can tell by watching the movie and how slow of a burn it is that it's building to something bigger.
Yeah, there's a lot of story, and even from what I know of the lore of Dune, there's like 50% of potatoes still waiting in the back kind of deal.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh, we didn't even talk about this shit, which I'll probably talk about in the next one. But yeah, it's very...
Don't do it.
Yeah, it's very... what do you call it? Where...
Just Halloween kills it, man. Just balls to the wall action.
Well, yeah, you got, the war. But yeah, there's moments that really are meaty, even slow parts where it's not action and stuff.
Right.
But, like the interactions between the dad and son, I thought that was done really well in the movie. Did you give money's worth?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Like you?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that, like, these remakes where you take something from the past and you try to put a new package on it sometimes scare me. This scared me, and it took me a couple days to watch it. But once I watched it, I was like, wow, I really enjoyed that, So, yeah, I would definitely say that, fucking, I got it.
I don't even need to see the original to know that this is how you do a remake.
Yeah.
I know movies of the 70s, 80s, and 90s really well, so I know what the limitations were back then, and I can imagine what the 80s one looked like, and I know that they nailed this. This is Suspiria to 2018 Suspiria.
Yeah.
They fucking nailed it. They did it right. And like I said, I don't know anything about the previous one or the book or the lore or the story, but I thoroughly enjoyed this. I had no intentions of watching it. I would have never watched it because I don't know Dune. I don't have a huge love for this story because it went over my head as a kid, and nobody talked about it until about a year ago. And then, I guess a teaser trailer came out and everybody was like, oh shit. So then it started coming back and I was like, what is Dune? Okay, Dune. Okay, Dune. Yeah, Dune. I don't know anything about the shit.
Yeah.
But I am glad that I watched it, and I will watch the next one, and I will go back, and I might even read the book depending on how many pages it is. So, I'm glad for this experience because, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that brings me to my next question and stuff. How much did the remake movie say, okay, maybe I should go and rewatch the original or read the book? Are you...
The thing with that is this one makes me think I should go read the book.
You instead not watch the old film so I don't compare.
I don't even feel like... No offense to the 80s one, I'm sure it was good for its time and everything. But, this is something that, it's not going to top this in any way.
No.
I mean, I will watch it. But this movie made me go... This movie was interesting enough for me to go, okay, I need to go read the book and see what it's all about. And see what's really going on. Because I did hear from people that did watch it say... They left some pretty big things out of the book, or they didn't cover this or that.
Yeah.
And so with that, like that makes me want to go read the book.
Dune, what's that? Can still enjoy this movie without, you know.
Obviously, because I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that with, like, let's say, Star Wars or Star Trek. You can't sit there and go, who is this Captain Kirk everybody keeps talking about, and then watch the remake ones. And it's like, I have no clue, but, you know, I'm interested, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you can.
Yeah.
You can very much. Stars?
So, I'm only going to give it 4.5 stars. I can see how it's a 5-star movie, but I'm going to reserve it and I'm going to give it 4.5 simply because I don't know everything about the movie. I may need to come back and go, hey, by the way, real quick, Dune 5 stars.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm just going to go with 4.5.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So,
yeah, I'm going 4. Not that I didn't enjoy... What?
really? Okay.
Well, I didn't know you were going to go to the halves and stuff. That's...
You tried to go quarters one time.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll give it 3.25.
Yeah. I'm going to go straight 4, just because I know once I'm able to watch both movies, if they go 2, cool. If they go 3, that's when it starts like, oh, they're overkilling.
They're
for
going to go 3.
Yeah, are they? Okay. Well,
I don't know that
2,
for sure, but yes.
2 will make it perfect. If I can watch the first one and the second one and go, okay, there's the complete movie, that's a 5-star. Dune 1 by itself, and like, imagine if they don't make part 2, where it's like, oh, it only made $100 billion. We were projecting $200 billion, so we're not going to finance the second one. Then I'm just like, okay, yeah, fuck you. That's a 2-star movie right there, because now I'm just left dangling.
That'll teach them.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to give it a straight 4, where it's really good. Better than average. I can't wait for the second one. When the second one comes out, if it's a complete nice bow story, like, you know, just nicely ties together, it's like, okay, there's your 5 stars. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
See you at part 2.
Yeah, go check it out and let us know what you thought, and let us know if you have seen the previous or read the book, and then how you feel about this one, what the contrast is to you. And we'll probably be back to review the second one at some point.
Hopefully next